Hi, I'm Ted, and I'm the owner of the Lightning Gravity Gaming Company, and I'm trying to make a YouTube tutorial on HTML with JavaScript. So JavaScript is supposed to be imported mainly into HTML user. I'm trying to name this as first JavaScript showing. So, um, yeah, let's create a new folder so it won't directly impact a, a problem that working directly from desktop, like this workspace, like down here, and here is too many other files called meta, so other like, connection with other script folder, like same as Unity and yeah, some game maker project folder. So I always use Eclipse IDE. It will always works, and we went down the JavaScript, and it's still as kind of HTML website thingy. So always create new projects instead of instead of the let's skip this new project instead of like some random folder that you made because it's supposed to be a project folder that links in all the files properly. So name this as maybe task one, I guess. Anything else you want. Uh in this new file. The project is not means folder, but it's more like a normal made for folder that will works properly. So project always be the folder version that always works properly, but always use file because it's not like supposed to be like a text, like um, a blank text. If you type in down here as your own text file, like down here, um, yeah, notepad text, yeah, yeah. So, so this notepad that you're not supposed to use notepad down here. So always use the file kind of project and name it with HTML at the end. Maybe you can name it as one type of thing, but for me, I'm going to create JavaScript as well. But there's one little detail that I have to know. Well, this is still okay-ish, still valid, but I have to. There's more like a warning how does JavaScript will connect properly with your HTML. It's a bit small warning because it's a bit confusing on what's the back end and the front end user. That's the most important that I finally figured out. But the back end is supposed to be .js, JavaScript, or Java. Um, Java is more deeper end of backend than JavaScript. The HTML would be the always your own fully on like NS while loop that always be true that your own website would be always non-stop like showing in a desktop. It does not close down by itself um, in the front end. So your front end will not consider as like any data storage inside your this thing. Only HTML is fully front end. And while like JavaScript is a bit more toward backend, but CSS is more like still fully front end. That's like a never-ending while loop that is always true. Same as HTML. So there's something else like this goes like you cannot. It's like the front end will never be back end. So always front end would be always true unless you exit the tab button. And then that tab from before will be gone into the web page. And that's same thing as that. Those that is never really truly connecting with front end and background. So the backend is more like data step. Like it's a hard time proving because it's pretty hard to show it. Um, it's more like you have to be like this code almost. Um, so kind of, I don't know how to describe it really well. It's pretty hard to describe it. But as soon you notice why it's like you cannot create a new um, variable from JavaScript will directly always connect to your like same thing as this. If you create a function down here like function dot name and then like here like this function is more like multiple front end user um you think um .js like this name from down here. And remember to save as all. When you click play this one, wait, um maybe click this one. Like always remember to use this one, external tools instead of run as, because you're not gonna make your fully browser online stuff even close. So click program and click plus. Let's create new converge. And location is always this website browser. Let me exit this because I need to shrink this. Right mouse click on Firefox or clone or anything like those. Yeah, copy this. Right mouse copy, exit. Um, just go back to here. Click the old one. Delete the double quotation string and go for argument, not the top one, working directory. And click variables. Not workspace location. Selected resource location. Click apply, run. Um, well, if you remember what I kind of said, if you click this one, this tab, nothing related to this one. When you play it, actually it still works. But just remember, like, yeah, just click this. Well, it doesn't matter which one it matters. I think if you click this one, it will run for JavaScript. Yeah, so remember to always click HTML. Doesn't matter which tablet you are in. So you click this one, but you run this one only from Project Explorer as you run this one. But so far it does not work because this separate function um will not like automatically play from this function name unless your name is true somehow connect to HTML variables um function. Yeah, so we exit this. um so if you click this, it doesn't matter which one you click except for this one. It's always HTML mainly. So all front end that always while loop, that always should be true. And you click play. You'll click word as a pop up prompt, kind of back end side. To write text on here is not really possible, I guess. Um, yeah, so far that's why I figured out that this is always HTML. It's always while loop. Like this won't just shut down by itself. Like it's still while loop down here. Like it's still going without kind of a pause. Yeah. Um. You have to think more multi-working task just to like not always pop out this and does nothing afterwards. So you have to think of this as more like a while loop that never ends, while the HTML and CSS front end will always go while loop that never ends front end that will not ever connect with any back end, but it might change the front end. Depends what you type in and fill in every single time. Like type in a text and form buttons and stuff. As you change around the information around and around with the back end only. JavaScript is the most um, best looking um, backend side for the most simplest form. But remember that this Adobe thing, the JavaScript is aren't supposed to be like 2D animation that deep on purposely. But it's mainly supposed to be for like this bug. It's supposed to be for like you say client programming side. It's supposed to be JavaScript for back end, not for your detail like 2D animation like every single time. Um, like you don't think of like Flash video game with JavaScript. Not much good anymore longer. It's more like back end side. Yeah. Of something else. Yeah, just like it's kind of creating an SQL kind of thing, like filling information with, but instead it's supposed to be using an ID, element ID that does something else that change the HTML interface more properly. But I have to good at multitasking, but I'm not that good with my own holding working memories. So that's why insane looks like you're playing juggling with element ID with back end that can change the front end a little bit. Um, and plus the dome and this thingy might um kind of change a little bit. Um, this with the dome. I think I have to kind of yeah, just get at the point. Yeah. So this is what I'm trying to say. And and Java is deep enough backend. It can create your each character like one at a time, like separate. Can separate your each alphabet and each word. That's how deep is the Java coding. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's kind of like the front end changed the back end changed the front end a little bit, like in the HTML and stuff. It's kind of hard to understand it yet because I'm not really used to it. So that's what I mean. Like, it's yeah, that's what I mean. The main point is HTML and CSS always fully front end that will never stop using by itself. Like, this screen does not shut down by itself unless you use something back end that JavaScript and Java and jQuery. I'm not quite sure, but it's like it's just something similar as element ID stuff, get element ID stuff. It's a bit hard to understand, but that's so far what I'm understanding right now. But this one is just straight on playing by itself. Uh, yeah, as it does this because the changing with element ID is the one that you have to learn down here. What it does, it just changing the more flipping back end with inside the front end that never ends. Front end. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think I end my YouTube tutorial on about first JavaScript showing without really changing with back end anything yet, because you need to know this thing more detail as it does to flip back and forth and just showing this thing, because if you want to have any function properly like this, it's kind of a bit whole different story than I thought. And to it's more like you have to learn this one instead. Oh, it's no point. Yeah, because function is always working with element ID. Oh, see, this doesn't do much with your website page normally at all. With the other kind of back end toward, unless you just decide to front end for all the way, pressing around forever, going back and forth with different HTML without any JavaScript at all. Because the main point that JavaScript is a bit hard to connect with HTML unless you know how to use this function more properly with this one, element ID stuff, that it kind of connects it while this JavaScript saving as you can play something different else with HTML while true loop that never ends, or front end. Yeah, that does not shut down the web page all of a sudden, no reason. Yeah, so I think that's it. The most beginning on this YouTube video. Yeah, as I can't change this script much uh because when I click function, like this doesn't really works as more like somehow like this somehow. I'm not sure why, even though it looks like it works, but it just doesn't plays it somehow. This yeah. Oh wait, I need to might exit this web. Wait. You can save as everything before playing it. As it does not run the name function because it seems like the element ID needs to know how it works. Else it won't play it again by a function all of a sudden. So that's what I mean, that you need to know how to use the element with the function normally. Yeah, so this is my YouTube video, so see ya.